18 years ago on Christmas Eve, I got married to my muse. After I started to paint watercolor, I painted her each year as a celebration of our wedding anniversary. Even though that's not the only time in the year I paint her, the anniversary is a must for me. I painted her so many times since I was an art student, you can say that she is my comfort subject when it comes to portrait painting. So today, as a celebration of our 18th anniversary as well as Christmas special, I will share the process of my latest portrait painting of my wife. I felt that I had a smoke breakthrough during this painting. So grab a coffee and let's talk and take a look at this painting process with me. Okay, so let's take a look at the pencil drawing. Now in the reference photo, you might notice that she is wearing glasses, and in my final painting, she doesn't. Yeah, so I took her glasses off because I feel like that looks better. Now if it is any other portrait, I probably won't do that, but I think because I see my wife often enough, I was willing to take that risk. Now even though it is my wife and I have seen her every day, it doesn't mean that I would just skip the drawing and go straight into painting. A proper drawing is still very important, especially for portrait. I am not very confident to just go straight into the painting, even the subject is somebody who I am very familiar with. I think for me it's very important to stay humble as an artist. I've been painting watercolor for about almost 10 years. And I've been painting my wife for even longer, so I should be very confident by now. But confidence doesn't mean that I don't stay humble. I think the misconception about being a confident artist is that you need to be kind of full of yourself and just do everything you want. For me, confidence is knowing who I am, knowing what my weakness is as an artist, and whenever I do a drawing, whenever I do a painting, I try to work with what I know about myself. So anyways, that's a little bit of rambling, but that's something that I do really want to share as an artist. Now I have did a pretty good initial sketch with a dull 4B pencil, so now it's time for me to switch to a mechanical pencil and do a cleaner, finer drawing. Now I think one advantage of painting somebody who you are very familiar with, especially your spouse or your kid or somebody like that, is that you get to actually touch your model. Now, if it is any other model, I am not able to touch them. First of all, it's probably not appropriate. Second of all, a lot of time I only have a photo to work with. But because it's my wife, I get to touch her and feel her face, get to understand the structure of her face, so whenever I draw her, I can clearly recall the facial structure of her face. So that makes me a lot easier to do the drawing. So combine that to my existing knowledge of a facial anatomy and facial structure, that always makes drawing my wife a lot easier compared to any other portrait subject. So I've mentioned it before, my wife is my comfort painting subject. Whenever I paint her, I feel extra relaxed, but also always makes me feel happy. I think as an artist, nothing makes me happier to paint someone I love or a place that's special to me. So my wife is definitely my comfort subject. Now starting with the first wash, this time I wanted to do really just step by step. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to do anything too fancy in the initial wash. So I just want to keep the wash clean. Now I lay down a very basic color of her skin tone. I lift a little bit of the paint with a clean damp brush. And while it is still wet, I added a few warmer color and just slightly darker tones so I can establish some basic form. So the tip of her nose, the occluded shadow next to her hair, and the eye socket, and the neck, and so on. Now, very important is that you really need to know how wet is your wash. if your wash is dry beyond a certain point, it's not a good idea to continue to do wet on to wet. Might as well just let it dry and paint another layer. But because of my wash is still quite moist, I decided to go ahead and just do a little bit more. That being said, I keep the color mostly very warm. It is very warm on the photo, so I keep that warm in my painting as well. So here I added a little bit of color for her lips. I use a nylon brush, so the wet on to wet shape will be a little bit more controlled. And as I'm painting this wet on to wet right now, I see that the wash is getting dry. So at that point, I knew it is better to leave the face alone and let it dry. So I start to paint her hair area. And keep in mind, it is still the first wash, so no color should be very dark right now. So it's mostly just warm color right now. I didn't use a lot of cool color just because I don't want to dirty up the color right now. So for the hair, mostly burnt umber with some orange, some red, maybe a bit of burnt sienna. But the only cool color here is the phthalo blue, a little bit on top of her hair. It's just something that I like to do for fun. And this phthalo blue is also the cerulean blue in Mission Gold. So here I find on the right side, her cheek, there's a little bit of paint seeping back in, so I quickly go over with paper towel and get rid of that before it turned into cauliflower edge. So it's very important that you observe your painting while you paint, so you can react immediately when something that's not expected showing up. And now the wash is dry and it's time for me to go back to it. So here I am starting the second wash. Now the second wash, I'm going to start to define the facial structure a little bit more. But all I'm going to do is to paint something a little bit more opaque. If you look at the photo, the lighting and the overall value is actually very soft. There's not a lot of dark value on her face, so I actually think that is very perfect for watercolor. Since watercolor is transparent in nature, I don't want to paint something very dark on her face because it can make her face look dirty and unnecessarily opaque and dark. Now starting from the top of her forehead, her hair is casting this beautiful detailed shadow on her forehead, and that's what I'm trying to paint. And because it is an interior scene and the restaurant is very well lit, that's why you don't see many dark shadow on her face. So I think right now, as I'm painting sort of a middle value, I am going to do an overall layer from the top of her forehead all the way down to her neck. This stage is a little bit tricky, but the key is to connect the shape as much as possible. Now, if you look at the photograph, only about 15 to 10% of her face is in the highlight, which is the top of her nose, the top of her forehead, and a bit on her cheek. And because the glasses in the photo also casting some shadows, so I need to take that into consideration. So you see me trying to leave a bit more light on her cheek. And I soften some of the edges so that it looks nice and natural, especially around the cheek area when the light transition into the middle value. So I think it is a good time to take a break from the face and start to paint her turtleneck shirt. I love the color of her shirt, so I try to mix that color with different blues, a bit of cerulean blue, some cobalt blues. Now I already applied some masking fluid for her necklace, so I didn't need to worry about that, but her hair, I do need to leave out some highlights. But anywhere that's going to be darker, I can paint over. So you see me paint around some of the highlight on her hair, but some of the area I just paint right over. And while it is still wet, you can see me trying to really push that dark so I can have a soft transition on her body, on her chest area. And that lighting on her body is really what makes her pop and what makes it so beautiful to look at. And now we are back to the third wash. After it is dry, you can see how the second wash just blend in to the first wash very nicely, and that is something you should take into the account. Right now I'm painting a third wash and it looks distinctively darker than the last, but once it is dry, it will lighten up quite a bit and it will blend into the previous layers a lot better. So that is why when we paint watercolor, we often need to have faith. And we often need to have some courage because we need to have faith that when it is dry, it's going to look a lot better. And now I am painting the tip of her nose. Make it a little bit warmer, a little bit darker, and the nose just project. So the third layer, which when we are starting to paint the darker value, is the part that where everything comes together. So this stage is very exciting because you're starting to see the structure of the face coming alive. And this is also why I said that because it is my wife, I am very familiar with her facial structure. This makes this painting a little bit easier because each brushstroke that I paint on her face is an expression of her facial structure. So continue on to paint the hair. Now, this third layer is going to make everything start to look dimensional and things look a lot more finished. However, there is still room to add more dark a little bit later. So right now, it is still very important to connect the shape as much as possible. So I paint the hair and I try to connect that dark value to her neck. Now her neck is definitely not as dark as her hair, but this does separate her neck and her face a little bit better, and it creates more depth. So that means I need to darken the hair a bit more later. So a good time for me to define her lips a little bit more. So the corner of her mouth, the bottom of her lips, and the wing of her nose. So just adding some darks in the right area, just a little bit, can really helps to define her face a lot more. So less is definitely more if you know where to paint. So now I continue to add the dark on her shirt, the cast shadow casted by her head onto her chest, and also darken the bottom area. And while at it, I start to darken the hair. So work everything together in tandem to develop my portrait as a whole painting. And now adding some dark to the hair, this stage really required my focus. Because if I paint too much, I lose the light. And I need to preserve the light in order to make the dark effective. Now adding some more dark to the occluded shadow on the top of her forehead, adding some dark to the hair. And now the lighting direction start to look very distinct. Which is very funny because when people saw this painting, they thought that she is standing under the sun, but she's actually sitting indoor in a restaurant. But I'm very happy that it looks like she's under the sun because she does give me that kind of feeling. She's always has this radiance of gentle light when I'm around her, and that's exactly how I want people to feel when they look at this painting of her. Just the other day, she saw me looking at her and she jokingly asked me, I have been looking at her for over 20 years. Have I ever get tired of looking at her? Of course, I said no, but when I think about it a little bit deeper, I think the reason I never really get tired of looking at her is because I always found new things about her. As we grow together, as we experience life together, I always discovered something new about her. And I certainly hope she feels the same about me as well as we grow together, as we grow mature together. It's hard for people to stay exactly the same over the years. So if we are getting tired of the person next to us, maybe it's not them. Maybe it is us who forgot how to admire them. I got it, life gets in the way and there's always something that distracts us. But for me, the most important person in my life is my wife, and I will always try to look at her and admire her and appreciate her. So no, after 20-some years, I am still not getting tired of looking at her. I still find her beautiful and I still appreciate her. And I certainly hope you can see that through this painting. Thank you so much for watching this video and listen to my sharing. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas wherever you are. Thank you, and I will see you guys next time. God bless.